Hi everyone, how you doing? So, this little live is about the beautiful word change, and also the word simplicity. I really aim in everything I do and everything I am doing and everything I'm planning in the future to find this really simple place to explain stuff, remove the cliches, remove the jargon, remove the crap, because there's a lot of people who sound really good and I won't take away from where they're heading, but I don't want to touch the spiritual people, and I don't really want to get to know that side any better than I already do. What I'm trying to offer is a very clear message to every man. The plumber, the builder, the mechanic, the guy who's at home possibly struggling a bit more than most because he doesn't think he's got anywhere to turn, he's got no one to talk to. So this idea of change and the work that I've been sort of talking about recently has become a big deal for me. You know, I'm 47 years old now, and I spent probably 40 years or 30 years, because as a 10-year-old I wasn't doing a hell of a lot, trying to change my external environment, because I believed that my external environment was the problem. So I would say that I was addicted to this idea. I holidayed 3 times a year, I changed jobs once a year, my relationships weren't necessarily very short, but they were extremely toxic and driven by these unseen forces that I just couldn't understand. So I just changed my environment again and changed the relationship and tried a different type of woman, but the toxic undertones remained. And you know, the secret to that word toxic was that I was part of the toxicity as well, but we can talk about that another time because that can be quite confronting. I guess what this live embodies for me is what I'm offering now on the social media platforms, is a choice to change. And these retreats and the work that I do is this opportunity to wake up, recognize the things that are going on around you. And I've put a list of things. You're fighting with the missus constantly, and you just don't seem to connect and understand each other the way you used to. You're struggling with patience with your kids, which is a big one for dads who are working full time. You're feeling unfulfilled at work, or you basically hate the place and you hate the people in it, or you're not moving and you're stuck in this level of, or you've hit a plateau at work and you can't go any higher. What I want you to consider, and what I'm talking about here, is this idea of taking some action. Now, as men, we are creatures of action. That is our very primal nature, and we seem to have forgotten about that and got tied up in this repetitive notion of waking up every day and doing exactly the same things, and it doesn't work for us. It rots away at the soul. It destroys the very essence of what we are and what we stand for. Now, what I want to do is help you plug back into that energy that has you having a look in the mirror and saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm a bit tired of it. The only way that's going to change is if I look at me. Because you can buy a big screen TV, you can go and hit the piss. You can sink yourself into social media scrolling. You can go on a holiday, and the list goes on and on. I can find a million things that you could do to numb the idea that everything around you is the cause of your misery, or the cause of you being stuck, or the cause of your tiredness and your lack of energy. When the truth is, speaking from experience, is the cause is you. And the simple cause is just you deciding that this is okay. That it's okay to get up every day and to do the same thing and not take action. So the simple reaction to that cause is to wake up tomorrow and decide to take action. It's not a convoluted and a huge long equation and you've got to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. You just got to decide that you've had enough with where you're at right now and that you want change. And then you take that little step in making that decision and saying, yeah, that's where I'm at. I am tired of fighting with the missus. I'm tired of snapping at the kids, or I'm tired of hiding in the man cave because I just don't have the patience to be the father I want to be. That's going to be a choice you need to make to change. And that's all it is, and that's all I'm asking in this little live, is to look at these retreats that I'll be working on, to look at a little bit of the content that I talk about and see if you can't hear where I'm coming from. And that is, I've been there, I've done it, and I did it the hard way. I pushed myself to the absolute extremes trying to figure this out. So when I'm talking to you, I can tell you right now, as I understand how it feels, and I understand what happens to you as you get older and you allow it to continue. You know, I said you're allowed to continue because that's what you're doing by not choosing to change. So how about taking some action, asking some questions, and have a read of what I've written attached to this live. See if something resonates, or see if it pisses you off, because if it pisses you off, it's probably even better, because it means it's touching a nerve in you that doesn't like to be touched. I'm here to chat to people, I'm here to serve people, I'm here to look after the greater good if I can, hey? And that's why I do what I do. So I think that's it for today, and let's see if I can do this again later with something a little bit more important.